Namaskar, I am Dr. Bhogal. I will speak about yoga and mental health. Health means restoring something to its ideal state. Mental health, obviously, restoring the ideal state of mind. Yoga and mental health. What yoga, how yoga can play its role in restoring mental health. Let us start with our slides. What we want to go about it. Next. We first understand the modern concept of mental health. Then we will understand the yogic concept of mental health. Comparing the modern concept with that of yogic one, then we will see the relevance of yogic concept towards achieving a sound mental health. Then relevance of yogic concept towards the strategies of achieving mental health or personality types as per Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Then we have relevance of yogic concept in achieving transcendental stages so that we achieve perennial mental health and holistic health. Next. So we start with psychological definition of mind. Very interestingly, there is no definition of mind actually available, but some people have tried to construct. This is one of the definitions. This is sum of cognitive abilities that enable consciousness, perception, memory, thinking, imagination, and judgment to function. It may also be defined as the conscious and unconscious mental activity of a person. In a nutshell, everything which is inner activity is known as mental activity. And mind caters to everything which is internal. This is broad definition constructed by a few people, although in formal psychology you will never find the definition of mind. Yogic definition of mind. Sankalpakattam manso lakshanam manute anayana iti manaha. It means mind is the one by which we think, contemplate and cogitate deeply. Mind is the one which conceives ideas often without decision making. Very interesting. Modern psychology says that decision making and everything, problem solving, is included in mental health, or it is the work of mind. But yoga says no, mind is only a medium through which we carry out different psychological functions. Next. Modern concept of mental health. Let us see what American Mental Health Association speaks about the characteristics of mentally healthy person. Emotional stability, maturity of character, ability to recover from paralyzing stresses of life in good time, ability to judge reality accurately, ability to foresee, ability to love and sustain affectionate relationship with people around. So ability to work cheerfully. Ability to fulfill our urges in such a way that it may not hurt others and our own self. Having an effective conscience. So these are the characteristics of a mentally healthy person. You will find that here spiritual aspect has been almost untouched. Next. Now, yogic concept of mind. Kathopanishad likens the human personality to a chariot, whereby 5 senses are likened to 5 horses of the chariot. Manas is the rein of that chariot, and the buddhi, intellect, is the operator. Still, the master of the chariot is Atman, or self. Buddhi and self need to be in perfect coordination to execute any work. Operator and the master of the chariot, the self, they need to work conjointly together to complete any task. Obviously, the buddhi, intellect, being the operator, needs to be stable. See, if your driver is not stable, your vehicle will not be stable. Same way, for remaining stable, the buddhi needs its own diet. Its diet is sattva-guna. When buddhi or the operator of the chariot gets its good food in the form of sattva-guna, then it will function properly. Yoga and meditation will give sattva-guna amply to the operator, namely buddhi. Next. Now, mental health in yogic perspective, what it is? It is a bit different from what modern psychology says. Transcending 5 chitta bhumis, that means we go to a state where we do not have any gunas or any qualities. In nutshell, we conquer all our mental, psychophysiological faculties in complete way, so that we are in transcendental state, transcending panchakosha. We will see what they are. Niruddha state. Niruddha means we have transcended everything, but we are quite aware. We are not slave to anything in the world. We are so complete master of our own activities, our mind, everything. Transcending Triguna. That leads us to Niruddha state. And therefore, the definition by Yoga Vasisht is Mano Prashamano Upaya Yogo Ityabhidhiyate. First, we have to calm down mind in yoga. And then we go beyond all kinds of psychophysiological slavery, which we often find in our life. A complete calmness of the mind, leading to the state of transcendence, is the yogic concept of holistic health that includes sound mental health. Mental health word is actually foreign to yoga. Why? Because mind cannot stay alone. It always associated with physical and spiritual health. Mind needs to be calmed down, not given health, because it is perennially edgy entity. If you give health, it can create more problem. So it should be calmed down. And ultimately, you have to transcend mind. Where there is no mind, you become master of your own self. So calmness of the mind leads to comprehensive awareness. Why so? Why we are calming down our mind? Because then we have comprehensive awareness. We know each and everything around. In turn, it leads to an enhanced sensory feedback in the sense, whatever is happening in the body, the information reaches brain and the brain issues correct order to restore all the functions of the body to its ideal state and processes. Thus, yoga endows us with holistic health, not merely mental health. Now, mental health is next. Uses Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti. In nutshell, Jnana Shakti means the power of your chitta. Chitta has got three entities: mind, intellect, and ego. Kriya Shakti is endowed to us by prana. Prana is a dynamic energy working inside the whole body. Next. Let us see what classical approach to mind is there. See, volitional acts of the body are the cause of volitional acts of the mind. It means, first we think something to do, and then we carry out that action. Riley was the first to refute this Cartesian theory. And he says, working of the mind may be better conceptualized as the action of the body. It means whatever we do in our life, actually that is the outcome of our impressions which have been embedded in our psyche for many years, even from the past lives. And because of that, we tend to work certain thing in our life. Now, this concept is quite near to chitta concept, where sanskars, the impressions, are known as the guiding factor in our life. It means whatever we do, it is pre-planned because of certain configuration of our sanskars. It is not that we first think we have to do and then we do it. Yes, we can give some direction to our activity, but broadly, whatever is our sanskars, our life is guided by the same. Next. Indian metaphysics says that actions are driven by aspirations and desires. Aspirations and desires are propelled by imprints of your past experiences. But why certain thing happens to certain desire or aspiration happens to one person and does not happen to other? It has something to do with your past experiences. Yoga recommends ways and means for neutralizing these sanskars. What a wonder. And thereby paves way for a better mental health. because then you become master. When irritant sanskars are washed out, so chitta moves towards transcendental state as per Sankhya Darshan. Obviously, samadhaya chittasya swabhavah. When left to its own fate, then chitta slowly moves towards samadhi, towards transcendence. Next. Relevance of yogic concept of mental health in 5 personality types as per Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Vyasa commentary on Patanjali Yoga Sutra says there are 5 types of personality. Now, these 5 types are because of different degrees of three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. For example, kshipta is broadly psychotic state. In modern terminology, psychoticism. The person completely shattered as far as psyche is concerned. So, endogenous depression, schizophrenia, hebephrenia, and such symptoms are there. For that, Bahiranga Yoga and Kriya Yoga may help. Mood, inertia filled, Shuddhi Kriyas and Asanas may help in the beginning. But how far Kshipta and mood will be helped, no one knows. Because these are hard nuts to crack. And therefore, you might have seen the psychiatric cases which are full blown can be treated very difficult way, almost impossible. Therefore, even for 25 years, people are struggling to come out of depression and schizophrenia. Of course, chances are high that they may come out, but no one says when. Vikshipta is neurotic state. For that we have Antaranga Yoga, Pranayama, Omkar. Ekagra, meditation, Ekagra means complete concentration, whereby you are master of your own senses and you know how to carry about the things of your choice. For that meditation, Sayam. Niruddha state is something when you go beyond all the rest of the 4 mental states, Kshipta, Mood, Vikshipta and Ekagra. Niruddha means transcendental, whereby you become total master, but you are quite aware about your own state of mind and the world at large. You know everything, but you otherwise are complete master. Swami. Next. Relevance of yogi concept for perennial mental health. While modern psychology says, well, there is something wrong with your mental states, we can restore back to its original state. Yoga goes little beyond that. It aspires to go towards the state which is perennial. Yogic concept of mental health includes purpose of life. What is the purpose? Because that is a sustaining force. Often people, when they get well out of some mental problems, they say we don't want to live because there is no purpose in life. What a wonder. In yoga, in meditative states, realities get expressed naturally. And then you feel within you some sort of purpose in your life. That's quite wonderful thing. Modern concept, being socially oriented, does not go deeper into one's psyche. Says that you have to be part of society. And therefore, it is limited to relative joy. That is, worldly joy. And the worldly joy, since they are associated with the worldly things, cannot be permanent, cannot be perennial. So meditative states endow us with absolute joy. Absolute joy means not related with any person, things, situation. And then it is self-existent and objectless. It means it happens once you fulfill some conditions, but not the worldly conditions, spiritual conditions. Then it effuses forth, it comes out. And then you get perennial mental health. Not only mental health, but you have total health, perennially, more or less. Sometimes ups and downs may be there, but otherwise you remain complete master of your life and living. Practice of pratyahara. What it is? Pratyahara means when we make our senses go inward and we make our senses weaned away from their object, then chitta becomes calm and quiet. And when chitta, in mind, intellect and ego, becomes calm and quiet, then the senses start imitating chitta. They also become calm and quiet. And when senses are calm and quiet, mind is calm and quiet, it is left to buddhi or intellect to have best work done from them. It means we can be completely successful in our endeavors of life and living. So, yoga and meditation will endow us with sound mental health and perennial health, making us complete master in all situations, and then we reign supreme as a human being in this world. Next. Now, from stress management to sound mental health, how can we go? To start with, Kriya Yoga is the practice which gives you stress management. You see, we have three concepts: managing stress, preventing stress, and annihilating stress. While modern science says that you can manage stress, you cannot prevent it, but yoga says you can. And you can also annihilate it, remove it, destroy it, whatever. Of course, for that you need to go deeper into yoga practices, but then the possibilities are there. So, Kriya Yoga brings about klesha tanukaran. Kleshas are attenuated. Kleshas means inborn afflictions because of which we suffer or we enjoy in our life. Success and failure is because of kleshas, inborn afflictions, which are there in everybody. When these kleshas are attenuated, means become weak, feeble, at that time all our powers come to the fore, and then we are successful. And at that time we may remove all antarayas, means obstacles in our life, vikshep sabhuas, concomitant with those obstacles. It means Kriya Yoga can be termed as stress management intervention to start with. After Kriya Yoga, we go for stress prevention. That means it may never occur afterwards, anytime. Having achieved samahita chitta, at least to some degree with the help of Kriya Yoga, one can try for stress prevention through Ashtanga Yoga. Why we say so? Because we are always having some stress so long we are living in society. Therefore, first we have to manage stress, then we should go for stress prevention. So, Ashtanga Yoga is the best bet for that. because it removes all impurities of chitta, mala, ashuddhi. And then we also have one more concept, stress annihilation. Forever we can destroy, we can remove it from our life. And for that, abhyas and vairagya. Abhyas means well-planned practice. Vairagya is freedom, total freedom, comprehensive freedom, which can be gained through yogic scriptures, yoga philosophy, or to say rightly, it is yoga darshan. Yoga darshan will give you where to go, the very road map, and preparing your attitudinal orientation. And then your practice is good. So proper practice and proper understanding of yoga is the watchword to remove stress forever. Next. Achieving mental health through deep sleep and through conscious practice. In both Ayurveda and Yoga, the chitta is considered the power of knowledge, jnana shakti, and the prana is the power of action, kriya shakti. Chitta is considered subtler than prana, operative in the sense and motor organs. Chitta is subtler, mind, intellect, and ego. But then at the deeper level, for example, in the state of deep sleep, chitta prana complex is healed fully. It means chitta prana interaction is best. In nutshell, it is mind-body interaction which takes place in deep sleep. And that helps us to achieve better mental health. You know that certain amount of deep sleep, which is hardly 1 hour or 1.5 hours, it is necessary. Nowadays, electronic watches are available which can give you account of your deep sleep. So, positive chitta and prana interaction will help us achieve yoga and then perennial mental health. Next. So, stress management to sound mental health. This is what we are discussing. Why different problems occur in our life? Now, the question is, why stress is there? Why mental health is disrupted often? Because it is in our life, we have some predisposing factors which are there by birth. And when they interact with some kind of precipitating factors, that means when we have some traumatic experiences, when we have mental shocks, when we have emotional turbulence, the roots are always available before in our life, in our psyche. But then when these two interact, predisposing factors means hereditary factors. Someone's father was very angry, so child obviously inherits that quality of anger. You know it. But then these remain dormant unless some such environment is ripe. So when such traumatic experiences are there, mental shocks are there, and then those predisposing factors, that is hereditary factors, come to the fore. And then it creates so many mental functions which are not so good. The impact is seen on the system functions, organs of the body, which are prone to stress responses. Yoga philosophy with its message of non-attachment, what a wonder. Always Yoga Darshan speaks about non-attachment, undue attachment to the things, people around. It can change our outlook, attitude towards traumatic incidences. Because we have sense of non-attachment, and therefore we see the things in proper perspective. It results into precipitating factors getting slowly insignificant, and thus we can prevent onset of existential disorders. So that is, in fact, it helps us a lot when we are making use of philosophy and yoga practice both hand in hand. Next. So here it is little more explicit. Kleshas when they are interacting with environment, and kleshas have different levels. Tanu, prasupta, vichinna, udar. Tanu means insignificant. Prasupta means dormant. So they will not trouble you. The level of kleshas. But then vichinna and udar levels of kleshas are really traumatic because they interact with the environment and they create a lot of mental activities which are often not so good. Uncontrolled chitta vrittis give rise to all kinds of existential disorders. And therefore it is said, yogas chitta vritti nirodha. When we transcend chitta vrittis, functions of mind, there are different functions of mind, and then we can gain yoga state. Psychic, psychosomatic, somatic, and somatopsychic. So all these different disorders come to the fore when we are not controlling chitta vrittis. So chitta vrittis are very important. Kriya Yoga practices reduces and manages chitta vrittis because it also attenuates kleshas. Kleshas are weakened, chitta vrittis are weakened, and there you are with complete awareness. And then you will never go wrong. Your life becomes complete success. And also you go beyond all kinds of problems in your life to become master of your all senses. And you control your environment fully. Next. Process of achieving mental health. Making one's environment favorable. You know, this is quite obvious. You cannot have fight with your environment, your social setup, the people around. So you have to make use of yama practice. Yamas, there are 5 and also 10 broadly. So 5 or 10. 5 are primary one and the 5 yamas are secondary one. If you make use of them, you make your environment favorable to you. Mental purification, it is necessary, tratak. On the mental plane, psychological plane, you are cleansed of all impurities and also kriyas. Shuddhi kriyas, you know that, yogic kriyas. Sublimation through niyamas. Niyamas are making you have sublimation practiced so that it is good to people also and also you are helped. So sublimation concept in psychology means to have certain things done so that the same is acceptable to people and also you are happy with that. State of inward journey, pratyahara, because whatever is there inside, Kathopanishad says that we have at the core of our personality consciousness, and there resides all kinds of happiness and blissfulness. And therefore, we need to start from the inner core to have complete joy and meaningfulness in our life. So, journey should be started from inside. Preparing for yogic concentration. See, all of a sudden you cannot concentrate. So, samapattis are available, different methods are there. And then preparation for yoga meditation. So, dharana. Then ideal chitta prana interaction is there, and for that process of yoga meditation. Then you go beyond all such kind of things towards intuition. Then you have got intuitive powers. Remember, no person ever can be completely successful unless he or she taps the intuitive powers nowadays. Why some people in the world are quite successful and they are invariably successful? Why? Because they are somehow making use of their intuitive powers. And yoga helps them to do so. That's what yoga says in different scriptures it is reflected. For example, in Bhagavad Gita, first it is said, Yogastha kuru karmane sangam taktva dhananjaya siddhyo samabhutva samatvam yoguchate. You need to be calm and quiet in all situations, and then creativity is there. Intuitive powers come to the fore. Buddhi yukto hi jahati ubhe sukrita dushkrite tasmata yogai jasva yogaha karmasu kaushalam. So, stress management and achieving mental health through yoga goes far beyond what modern science even can comprehend. Okay, so here next is obviously Swasti Rastu, Shri Rastu. When we have yoga methods achieved, it means it will be quite helpful to us. Tapping creative potential of meditation, how? Well, there are certain methods, neutral state of attention we need to have. Non-reactive abstract awareness is the watchword in yoga meditation. When you go to a temple or any places of worship, you close your eyes, you feel some kind of abstract kind of happiness inside. You cannot express. During meditation, if we have such kind of abstract awareness, it means our meditation is just getting initiated. And then afterwards, we have different methods available. But the first and foremost thing is non-reactive abstract awareness. I feel something inside. Yes, I am feeling, but I cannot express. But it is so good, so nice to me. This is abstract, neutral state of attention. So by different methods, we achieve this neutral state of attention, abstract awareness, and then our journey in meditation goes unhindered, continues. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad.